Hey there, everyone. Here we're showing off our Case IH Axial-flow series combines. So, a really slick mod we have here. We've got both the 50 series and 60 series case combines in on this. So that gives us our two different levels of technology, mainly Pro 700 up to the Pro 1200. But we have a ton of different options that we can go through on here. We'll start at the top. We've got our Class 7, Class 8, and Class 9. Then we have all of our different wheel brands that you guys have come to expect from us. So we'll start with our Firestones. We got 580s, front wheel drive, and well, two wheel drive and four wheel drive. And then we'll go over to our Lizard. So then we've got our 520s, our two wheel drive, and four wheel drive. And we'll bump up to 620s in the front wheel drive and four wheel drive. The 710s, same thing. Dual 800s here. We've got our single 900s. Our build 900s. Single 11s. Dual 11s, hundreds. And then 1250s. And our other 1250s. And we have 1400s. Then we have our different track options. We have your traditional case tracks. This was pretty much your common for a lot of years. They also you have your four-wheel drive. Then they've came out and they've got this track as well now that you can get on the combines. We got it with the thinner track option. Then we have our ATI tracks. So our first Powerflex, front two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. Then we got our weights. Then we have our high idlers. And then we can go over to our Salsi tracks. So we got that in four-wheel drive. And that'd be it for the tires. So then we have our European market instead, and we also have our North American market. So here's what's pretty cool with our model year is 26 and 25 would be your 60 series combine. It's a difference of, $11,000. Then you go down to your 24, and 24 puts you into a 50 series. And 23, 22, 21, 20, and 19. So as you can see, our price increases. It changes a little bit different every year. So then we have our displays. So we've got a Pro 700. You'd have your Pro 1200, which really this would be on the 60 series only. So in this one, you just have your single Pro 1200. This one, you'd have your dual Pro 1200. So having one right there and one right there. Your cabin features, you've got your premium and your standard. The standard, this is really the cab that carried the entire 50 series. The premium, this is whenever the 60 series came out. So then we've got our receivers. So we've got our 372, our 392, which those would be on your for your Pro 1200s. And then you'd have your Vector Pro, and your Vector Pro receiver is obviously for your Pro 1200. So for our axle length, we have different axle lengths here. Oop, my bad. We've got 140 and 144. We've got an LED bar. And then we have our spreader options. So you have your stock spreader, and then you have your fine chopping spreader. And then we've got our beacon. So your classic beacon, and then you've got your shorter LED beacon. You got your backup sensor or your backup alarm. And then for Windows, you got your adjustable tints there. Now we have our Starlink antenna. So, one of the big reasons why you would have the Starlink is so many of these pieces of equipment nowadays, pretty much all of them anymore, have some sort of telematics on them. Some of them just display nothing more than your fuel and your position. Um, you get into Case. Case has their field ops. John Deere has Operations Center. Ag Leader has Agfinity. Uh, and then let's see, with them being so cellular based, they can give us a lot of information. So in real life, whenever all your yield information or planting information or any of your as applied data gets recorded onto the display and then gets shot up to the cloud, and then that then gets processed, and then you're able to see it on your iPad or uh, however you want to view it. Well, what you run into a lot is the PCMs are all cellular based, and with them being cellular based and being in the ag world, a lot of ag is done in very remote areas to where we don't have adequate cell service, especially to send as big of data that needs to go up. Um, so with Starlink, it's been a relatively newer thing on equipment in the past probably 3 years. Uh, we got our Starlink Mini and we got our Starlink V4. Funny enough, this video and all my streams get uploaded via Starlink. Um, but this would allow you to be able to send all your data up. So I would kind of think of it as like if you got a lot of machines in there, you'd want the standard V4. If you'd have just one machine and you're not worried about sharing information between two displays and you're just getting that data up, the Starlink Mini would be great. Our numbers. Got up to 9, and then we have our oversized load. Then we have our Patriot plots. We've got the US, Canada, Brazil, and Australia. So you got the slow moving sign. So white, to my experience, they always come in as white because they got film in them. So if they're being delivered, that's when they're white. Sorry, standard attachers. So then we got what everybody enjoys is our different grain tank configurations. So we've got just the manual one. We've got the manual with the big top extension. We've got your traditional power. You got your traditional power with a Dimco kit to extend it up some. Then you have your traditional Case IH hydraulic covers. Then you have your Dimco XL grain cover. And then you have your Dimco cover with the extensions on it. Then you have your DW grain tank. Then you'd have your manual with the tarp over it. So we go from 14,000 liters, 18,000, 14,000, 17,000, 14,000 with the hydraulics, 16,000 with the Dimco, 19,000 with the Dimco in extensions. And then our top would be the almost 25,000 with the DW grain tank. So you can get a lot of grain through here. So our next thing is our pipe. So we've got 30-foot static, 30-foot static with the different pipe. We've got our 30-foot with a pivoting spout that's fixed. A 40-foot with the pivoting spout that's fixed. 40-foot static with that tip, and then we got a 50 with the pivoting, and then the standard tip and the second tip. We have the 60-footer, And then we've got a 40 footer, and this is the one that extends here, or not extends, but it folds in. And the 50 footer that extends in, or folds in. And then you have your rim colors. So primarily this would be the case, the standard that they all turn out to be. So let's go ahead and buy one real quick. We'll go ahead and do a class 9. We'll do the power flexes. They're pretty common anymore. We'll do a 26 to make it a 9260. Dual Pro 1200s, premium cab. This would be the Vector Pro. We'll go wide on our axles. You can put an LED bar. I wouldn't because of having your receiver right there and the interference that ends up happening. We'll do the fine choppers. Keep LED beacons, no backup. We'll do the V4. We'll do the American plot here. Do the attacher. And we'll do the standard hydraulic covers. And we'll do the 50-foot folding pipe. Let me get this moved over here. So here's the cab here. Go ahead and get her unfolded. The other great thing with this is we have it to where our covers can all come up here. So get our cross plate turned off here. So we've got all of our covers opened up here. Be our ladder. It's been a pretty fun mod to play with so far, so we definitely hope that you all will enjoy it. Let's go ahead and see if I can kick it on here. It kicked off as soon as I got out. But as you can see, we have moving animations. Pull up our straw swather. So you can see the little machine there. And then we can adjust our pipe there. Alrighty, well, we certainly hope you guys enjoy it. We're very excited about this mod and a lot of work into it. So, y'all have a good one.